So you show me your sewage septic tank, I'll tell you your income.
Am I really that much to handle? Breaking these niggas down like a camel. You don't really to throw you out.
Today I'm bringing you along on a very exciting and eye-opening tour of a real wastewater treatment plant. I got a front row seat thanks to my amazing husband who works in this field. Trust me, you'll never look at your toilet the same way again. Let's get into it.
Hi guys. Let me remove this gas mask. Yeah, you definitely need this. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Cynthia. Today I've come with a very different video. I accompanied my husband to his workplace. So we are at a sewage treatment plant. I'm going to take you along as we're going to see the processes of how the sewage from our homes is treated until the water is safe to be reused or being taken back to the rivers. This is the first stop. This is where it all begins. All the wastewater from our homes, yes, everything from the kitchen sink to the toilet comes into the plant through large underground pipes. The first job is to remove the big stuff, things like sand, grit, plastics, and other materials that shouldn't be in there. This is called physical treatment.
One of the major processes that take place here, they are biological processes. For example, you can see that small plant that you saw in there. So it's trying to mimic what's happening there. It's just that in that small part of the plant, there's one unit that we are adding. That is the anamox unit. It means anaerobic ammonium oxidation process. So that's one unit that we are doing. So the first reactor and the second reactor, they mimic what's happening here. Come with me. There's the anaerobic digestion zone. There's this anaerobic zone there. Aerated zone now. This is the aerated zone here. So here, this sludge now is being aerated, and there are a lot of biological processes that are happening here as well that require oxygen.
Now here is where science really kicks in. The water enters a special biological reactor. Fancy name, huh? I know, but what happens inside is amazing. This is where good bacteria gets to work. It's a mix of zones with no oxygen, little oxygen, and lots of oxygen. These microbes eat up all the nasty organic waste in the water.
They're supposed to be
it's
wearing
like a natural cleaning crew doing their job
face masks
24/7.
because there are some aerosols. But I think we are used to it. Aeration. So the purpose of these agitators, they are helping, number one, for mixing, number two, for aeration. Because the microbes, they need their energy. There are a lot of microbes that need oxygen. I'm not a microbiologist, I'm not a scientist, so I wouldn't know much about it. But there are a lot of biological processes that are taking place here. The aerating is very, very important. And also the florets are very, very important in achieving the end goal. Here now the aeration is done, the aeration of the sludge. The sludge has been activated now. There are a lot of microbes. So it's now leaving this reactor through this place. So from here now, as you can see, this water is now very clear. Just take your camera close. This water, that's the date water that you saw there. So it comes into this clarifier where it settles down. And that poopy-like material is underneath. And the water now, you know, water is a very scarce commodity now these days. We are having a lot of water shortages, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. We're having a lot of water shortages, so we are trying to reticulate some water through this process called clarification. This water is not yet clean. Yes, it's clear as you can see it. Some of you can be tempted to drink it, but there are still a lot of microbes. So there's another process for chlorination and a lot of other processes downstream. Smallest plants that we are running This is just 4.5 megaliters per day. That's 4.5 million liters per day. There's another plant in W, which is 120 megaliters per day. That's 120 liters per day. It services domestic and industrial wastewater. This one is only domestic. Some of the constituents that we see in this wastewater when you're doing chemical analysis, it can tell us that this is really an affluent suburb. If I can tell you, if you show me your toilet right now, your sewage pipe at your home, I can tell you your salary. So yeah.
Tazatosiyana mumacarbohydrates akawanda.
Zvinotooneka kuti ndikusadza.
Guys, you've heard for yourself.
But some cheese, some bacon and all those nice things. We can tell your salary. We can tell by the things that you produce through number 1 and number 2. So you show me your sewage septic tank, I'll tell you your income. Sludge beds. These are called drying beds. The poop is dry, it's ready to be manure. All these, and the remnant water percolates now into these lagoons. So here there's composting that is taking place, and then here lagoons. It can even now go into rivers, into oceans. It's now less aggressive. So from the entrance, from your homes, it comes in there. We remove some grid, some big things. Sometimes there are babies which are picked, but not, of course, in this neighborhood. In some neighborhoods, you can even pick some babies, chickens, goats,
So now the water is being taken for it.
The idea is to remove all the nitrogenous material in there. That is the idea. However, on industrial scale, it is not so. So there's another process now that we put soon after the Anamox reactor. That is the use of algae, or some they say algae, as a polishing step to remove the remnant nitrogen or nitrogenous material that could have been left. So here, there's a certain count of algae, zerere if you know it, that is put in here.
And here we are at the final polishing stage. Algae ponds. These ponds use natural algae to grab any leftover nitrogen from the water. It's like a final touch of nature before the water moves on to further treatment and reuse. Who knew algae could be so useful? Interesting, right?
Now this part is really cool, guys, and a bit more advanced. So my husband showed me their pilot plant that he uses process called Anamox. Yes, don't worry, I had to Google it. I'm now learning new words. Basically, it's a smart way to remove nitrogen from the water because too much nitrogen is dangerous. It causes algae, or what we call mazerere in Shona, to overgrow in rivers and lakes. That leads to oxygen loss and can kill fish and other water creatures. Therefore, the steps helps protect both the environment and our future water sources. So wow, guys, this is what chemical engineers do at a wastewater plant.
Yeah, when it goes into the water bodies, it's less toxic. It's less toxic, less aggressive to the environment. So basically, that's it. These are raceway ponds. So like that raceway for horses. So it will be pumped. The algae will be pumped like this, to increase the surface area of contact with the water, with the wastewater. So this it's called a raceway pond. It goes like this, just like horses and how they race.
So this tour was truly eye-opening. I used to think wastewater would just disappear, but now I know it goes through so many steps before it's safely released or reused. A huge shout out to all the engineers and scientists behind the scenes keeping our environment safe. If you found this interesting, drop a like, share with your friends, and please don't forget to subscribe for more behind the scenes journeys like this one. Thank you for watching, and we say goodbye for now.